let's talk about that first hire, what that looked like for you guys, and help people get over that hump.
Yeah. So our biggest, I guess, drawback to wanting to do that was that we didn't want to hire people and bring them into our house. And so, I suggest for people that, don't mind that. Yeah, you can bring them into the house, the garage, or you can build like a shed in the back if that's cool with you. What we did is we were like, all right, let's find a warehouse close to us that's within our price range, and let's just take this leap of faith. And so we got a warehouse, and we also got 2 employees at that point. We hired them both. They were brothers at the same exact time.
Did you know
They're
them
still
before?
with us. No, we did not.
Oh, wow. That's even so. A lot of people like find a teenager that they know, somebody from their church, or friend, a son or daughter of a friend. But wow, you didn't know them at all.
Yeah. No, not at all. And what's weird is we found out they lived like 3 houses down from us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they were brothers, or our brothers. They still work for us as of today. So that was a lucky first hire for us. I do suggest finding people that you know and trust first. That way you could bring them into the house and start to grow a little bit more to get more cash flow until you need to outsource or want to outsource to a warehouse and more people. But yeah, so really once we had hit 25, 27-ish, we decided, okay, it's time to really offload a lot of these tasks that can be done for, $15 an hour or less. Because
what were those days like? Can you remember back when you were hitting at that $25,000 to $27,000 mark per month? What were those days and weeks like? Were you just guys like working like crazy, trying to keep up? And you're just like, either we're going to get burnt out, or we're going to have to hire it out in order to increase?
Yeah, so that's exactly what it was. I mean, we were shopping a ton, and then we would bring it home, and we hated prep and ship. So we would let it sit sometimes, and we would try to do other things.
Yeah.
And so, we tried a bunch of different models at that point until we decided, okay, we're just going to focus on replens and blow that up as much as we could. And so, yeah, we hated prep and ship. I've described it before as soul sucking for me. It was a killer. I don't like it. And so we did everything we could at all costs to avoid it. And so, yeah, we hired those 2 people, and then we hired a shopper, and then we hired another person for the warehouse, and then another warehouse person. And then we've gone to 4 or 5 shoppers now and about 6 warehouse people. All of them are part-time, except for one we have full-time. And so, we did that not necessarily intentionally, but I kind of like that because it's, we can count on a bunch of people. If one person has to take off, we aren't just counting on that one person to be in. But that was just our choice. There's obviously more people to manage then. But yeah, so those things we offloaded, managing our back end of our Amazon account. So reimbursements, refunds, stranded inventory, pricing errors, all of those things we offloaded 2 years ago, I think 2 to 3 years ago at this point.
You have a VA for that, right? That's not a person here in the States that does that for you.
Correct. Yeah. We use the VA service for that. And so, yeah, that was a huge help with our time. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much just started piece by piece, knocking down each domino to grow. And every time that we hit a plateau, we knew we needed to add another person or something like a software into our business to help outsource that specific.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned in our course, it doesn't have to be a person. It could be a piece of software that saves you a ton of time, allows you to focus on other stuff. So I know Jim talks about that first hire. Some people should make it something that's a revenue generating task, like out shopping for you versus packing and shipping. And you guys do the packing and shipping, but that's because you just hated that so much. And I understand, guys, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong on this. It's probably more like what works for you. What did that do for you when those 2 guys came on your business? Was it just like a huge relief off of your guys' shoulders that allowed you to now we can focus on the fun part of this business, which is outsourcing products?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would actually say too, I mean, Jim does say to outsource revenue generating tasks. To us, that was because we were able to go find more products to create more revenue to grow our business. And that the proof is, how it grew from there. So we went from 25, 27 in June of that year to July. We hired those 2 people. We trained them and hit 35. And then in August, the second month, we hit 70.
Whoa.
So we
went easily paid for them.
Exactly. So, and that was just me and Brittany shopping at that point in time. We were shopping a lot, but we were more excited to, because we didn't have to prep it as much. And we had a formula for how we wanted to train them. So we didn't have to be in the warehouse with them prepping as well. We could do all shopping. And we talk about that in the outsourcing course too. But, you know, that was key, is to making sure that they felt independent and trusted, and like they had ability to have some autonomy. Also, we gave them flexible hours, which was nice.
Yeah.
But, you know, giving them that autonomy, helping them be independent from us is hugely important. If you're outsourcing to anybody or anything, if you're there all the time, well, they're just going to, you know, trust you to fix their problems, or trust you to handle the things that they don't want to handle. So make sure that you've got a plan for how to get away from being in that specific activity.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went from 27 to 35 to 70. And then from there, it was basically Q4. And so Q4, we hit 100,000, you know, because it was Q4 at the time. We were doing a lot of toys and things like that year. And then the first time we had 100,000 outside of Q4 was March or April of 2019. And then, you know, from there, you know, a month and a half, 2 months later, I did the presentation at the Legends Conference, and everything from there is kind of grown. We did learn to not rely on one person, like a shopper, because we had one shopper we relied on and she had to leave. And so that's when we hired 4 shoppers that were willing to do, you know, 10 hours a week instead of one that was doing 40. So that helped us a ton, actually.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So you weren't hardly shopped at all last year because of those people that you had in your business. I know a lot of people that listening to this, they do have somebody helping them with the prep and ship. Let's talk really quickly about the shopping side of it. So, how did you hire those shoppers, and how does somebody listen to this? Like, gosh, okay, I got a teenager into working my business. They're out in their garage on the weekends helping me out, a neighbor kid helping me out, but I would love to be able to hire out the shopping piece of it. What's that process look like?
Yeah, so I would start with somebody that you know, if you can. So our first shopper was somebody that we knew, and then our second one, the one that we relied on the most, that ended up having to move on to other things, she was a referral from our friend. So that helped. Then when we had to hire the mass amount of shoppers, we went to people we didn't know at all. And so we typically, our process would be a Facebook post to try to find people at least that are acquaintances of ours. Then the second thing, and the thing that helped us the most for our warehouse and our shoppers, was using the Nextdoor app. So it's one word, Nextdoor. But the Nextdoor app was huge for us. And we did a string of like 10 interviews at a Panera Bread at the time for figuring out who we wanted. And we wanted 4 or 5 shoppers. We got 6, and then 1 or 2 of them didn't work out because we have a training period. And we went from there.
Were they making decisions for you, or just buying replens, or both?
Just buying replens. So just strictly shopping off of a shopping list. We have one person, the original shopper hire of ours, that's our friend. She still works for us. She makes some decisions and makes buy lists for them. And then we also trained another, I think it's a cousin of Brittany's that, or cousin-in-law of Brittany's, I guess, that also makes buying decisions for us now too.
Say you want to take a month-long break. What would happen to your business if you just like completely checked out? Maybe you need to let them know you're going to check out, but could your business run if you guys were just completely out of pocket on some stranded island with no internet access for a month?
Yeah, it could run for sure.
Wow.
You know, there would be less checks and balances because, you know, Brittany will still review the buy lists and stuff that our people, you know, our main person does. But yeah, I mean, it would still run without it. We would just have to probably tell her to, hey, don't buy a ton of this one product, just buy small amounts of everything. But yeah.
That's incredible. Well, guys, I know a lot of people want to get to that level, and you really can. And don't be, if you're the type of person that gets, you know, like you feel like you're the loser when you see people like Jimmy and Brittany, they're just blowing it up on Amazon, doing $1.5 million last year. Realize that most people aren't at that level. It's definitely doable. You can get there. You can scale your business just like, you know, they have. But some people listen to this, like don't have a desire to, don't have just, you know, they're happy making a couple $1,000s extra a month. That's totally doable too. And that's easy to do with this business. Even if you're listening to this and you've never sourced a product in your life, you can get to that level fairly quickly. Just put in place the things that we teach. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't need a lot of money to start either.
Yeah.
I get a lot of people that ask me that. You can start with no money and flip a couple things on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace first.
Yeah.
Just pick it up for free from Craigslist and then flip it to Facebook Marketplace after you fix it up if you really need a little bit of money to start. But if you have $100, you can do this business no problem. And test a bunch of products and send them all in, and you'll start getting some sales and getting some revenue and cash flow to start putting it all back into the business from there.
You said you have somebody that's going into the back end of your account and doing stuff for you. Tell me about what that person does and how that's helped you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, it was around the same time we started to outsource everything in our business. We started to use a VA that would go into our account, and they would help with refunds, reimbursements, inventory discrepancies, damaged inventory, as well as stranded inventory, pricing errors, feedback, suppressed inventory, et cetera. All of those annoying tasks that we typically have to take care of in our business, we outsource that to a virtual assistant. And she's handled that for a couple of years. She's got a whole team in the Philippines that she's trained as well to do it. So it's been a huge help in our business. I mean, we've gotten tens of thousands of dollars back using her, actually, and saved a bunch of time. Which is
so she's
really the most
she's
important.
More than paid for. Just probably the reimbursements paid for. Essentially, she's working for free for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and the tasks that she does would have cost us about 5 hours, probably a month, maybe 10 in some months. And, if any replen seller out there, even if you're new, I think you should value your time at $100 an hour. Yeah. So if you're looking at tasks to outsource, that's what you should at least think about is, okay, $100 an hour, because you can source and make $200 to $300 an hour in some days. Absolutely. So if it's saving me 5 to 10 hours a month, even at 5, it's
$500,
$500 a month, minus the fees. So yeah, it was a huge help for our business.
She doesn't cost $500 a month.
No, she doesn't.
That's incredible. Tell me about what's, so guys, the reason we kind of jumped into this, I'm glad he mentioned it, is that we actually have created a service. It's the same girl that Jimmy uses. She has a team of virtual assistants. And so when he told me about this, I thought we got to share this, because I know other people, I guarantee if you're listening to this and you've been selling for any amount of time, Amazon owes you some money. Now, if you've been selling for a few weeks, it's going to be a little bit, maybe, tiny bit. But if you've been selling for months and months or even years, you probably have thousands of dollars waiting on you in cases that you could open up yourself if you knew what to do. But they have it all down. They know what to look for, and they open up these cases for you. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So they open up all the cases. They go through all of the reports that Amazon gives you, and you can do this yourself. Again, it's what saves us time, though. For us, it was 5 to 10 hours a month of having to go through all of these and then keeping up with all of the cases, which is also a pain to have to deal with. So it saved us a ton of time. And that alone to me is worth it. But yeah, she has a whole team of VAs that she works with, trains, and monitors the whole process. And so that's why I liked using her at the time, and watching her build out the VAs to grow and scale has been really fun too, because it's been a very consistent, seamless process for everyone that's used her.
Yeah. If you guys want to check that out, it's just to go to legendaryvas.com/AM for account management. And there'll be a link, and you can check it out. Look at the different plans that are available there. On that page right now, I know we need to update it, because it's we've even had more, but it says $19,385.31 that our clients have gotten back from Amazon so far. And I know it's more than that now.
One person got $4,000 back.
Wow.
Yeah, 1 month, 4,000. But again, it depends on your account and how long you've been selling. We can actually, what's cool too, if you've been selling for 18 months or longer, they can go back 18 months prior to whenever they start. So that's really a huge help. Sometimes
if you're thinking about this and you've been selling for longer than 18 months, you need to you need to do something, whether it's with us or not, doesn't matter, but get somebody or yourself looking back at those cases so that you can get that money back. Otherwise, if it goes 18 months and 1 day, it's gone forever, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that one day would be gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
So if you've been on there 36 months and you haven't done anything, you can only go 18 months back.
Man.
But it's still really cool. If you've been on there 6 months, they can go back the full 6 months and take a look for anything that might have been missed. But again, it's the time involved. So if you are doing this, think about how much time it's taking you to handle the suppressed, the stranded, the price errors, plus all the reimbursement cases that can be opened and possibly be opened. That time alone, if you dedicated that to sourcing or prepping and shipping, you're going to more than make up for it. Even if it just saves you 2 hours a month, you're going to make up for it. And for us, it saved us, 2.5 to 5 times that, 5 to 10 hours a month. So it's been a huge help for our business.
Love it. Yeah. Again, guys, that's Legendary VAs, VAS.com/AM for account management.
And if you're in Legends, there's a discount for some of the plans.
That's right. A whole different link for that. So
exactly.
There's a link in Legends that's different and you guys get a discount.